Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. My name is Utsaf Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. At least 17 people have been killed in Syria amid clashes in the western Tartus province. The police sought to arrest an officer who earlier worked for ousted President Bashar al-Assad. The officer was linked to the notorious Seydiana prison near the capital Damascus. Clashes broke out after the officer's brother and some armed men ambushed security forces near their village. Meanwhile, thousands of people were protesting across Syria. This was after a video was circulated showing an attack on a crucial Alawite shrine in Aleppo's Maysalun district. Syria's new interior ministry said that the footage was old and it was republished to stir up strife among citizens. The authorities imposed a curfew in the city of Homs in Syria's western region. This was after reports emerged of one person being killed and 5 others being injured. Israel and Hamas have traded accusations, each blaming the other for the delay in finalizing a ceasefire and hostage release deal. Hamas said that Israel has placed new conditions amid the ongoing negotiations. However, Israel has dismissed the accusations and said that Hamas was creating new obstacles to an agreement. Israel's President Isaac Herzog has urged the country's leadership to move towards a deal. Meanwhile, Israeli strikes on Gaza today killed at least 10 people, including 5 journalists. The 5 journalists were killed when an airstrike hit their media van. 5 others died and 20 were wounded in a strike on a house in Gaza City's Zaytun area. Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz, said that his country's forces will retain security control of Gaza. Israeli forces will control the buffer zones between Israel and Gaza, as well as command posts in the enclave. Katz added that no Hamas government nor a Hamas military will exist. Israel soldiers say that they seized over 85,000 weapons and pieces of equipment from Hezbollah since they entered Lebanon. The arms were reportedly found in about 30 villages in southern Lebanon. Weapon caches and rocket launchers were reportedly seized. The IDF said that these weapons were intended to harm the citizens of Israel. The Yemen-based Houthis claim to have carried out 2 operations in Israel. The Houthis say that they hit a sensitive and vital target in Tel Aviv and a military-industrial area in Ashkelon in southern Israel. However, the Israeli military said that they intercepted a missile before it entered their territory and a drone fell in an open area. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has denounced the Russian attack that took place on Christmas. Zelensky said that Russian President Vladimir Putin deliberately chose Christmas to attack Ukraine and called the strikes inhumane. Russia targeted Ukraine's energy grid with over 180 missiles and drones. The strikes killed at least 1 person and led to a massive power outage. US President-elect Donald Trump sent out Christmas greetings. His wishes were directed to, and I'm quoting, Governor Trudeau and radical left lunatics. In his Christmas posts, Trump also doubled down on his desire to control the Panama Canal and buy Greenland. At least 7 people sustained injuries in New York City after a taxi jumped on a sidewalk. The cab driver suffered a medical issue. In India, a tourist boat capsized in the Arabian Sea off the coast of Goa. The accident killed 1 person. 20 others were rescued. The police say that the boat capsized 60 meters away from Kalangut beach. The death toll in yesterday's Azerbaijan Airlines plane crash has risen to 38. This leaves 29 survivors. The plane crashed near Aktau city in Kazakhstan. The Embraer 190 aircraft was en route from Azerbaijan's capital, Baku, to the city of Grozny in Russia. A riot broke out in a prison in Mozambique's capital Maputo on Christmas Day. At least 33 people were killed and 15 others sustained injuries. During the unrest, over 1,500 inmates escaped from the high-security jail. The police say that they recaptured at least 150 people who fled the prison. The unrest follows the disputed election that took place in October, which the opposition claims was rigged. Canada's Immigration Minister, Mark Miller, has announced new rules to curb fraud and improve border security. Professionals applying for permanent residency will no longer get extra comprehensive ranking system points for job offers backed by a labour market impact assessment, which employers use to hire foreign workers. This ranking system evaluates immigration candidates based on age, skill, and language proficiency. South Korea's opposition filed an impeachment motion on Thursday against acting President Han Duck-soo. The move follows his refusal to appoint Constitutional Court judges. A Constitutional Court ruling is necessary for the removal of former President Yoon Suk-yeol. Yeol was impeached after declaring martial law in the country. In climate news, the wildfire burning in the Australian state of Victoria has been predicted to worsen. As per the authorities, at least 4 fires are still burning. Neighbouring South Australia and New South Wales are also on high alert. Authorities in Russia's Krasnodar region have declared a region-wide emergency after oil continued to pollute the coastline 10 days after 2 tankers were damaged during a storm. One tanker split in half while the other ran aground, spilling oil that has affected beaches around the popular Annapa resort and harmed marine life, including dolphins and porpoises. Over 10,000 people are involved in cleanup efforts. Brazilian authorities are assessing the risks of water contamination after a bridge collapse sent trucks carrying sulfuric acid and agricultural pesticides into the Tocantins River. The 533-meter bridge collapsed on Sunday, resulting in 4 confirmed deaths. Rescue efforts have been delayed due to the hazardous chemicals in the river. Severe overnight storms in Houston, Texas on Christmas Eve have left roads flooded, complicating holiday travel for millions of Americans. Reports suggest that 93% will rely on cars, making the flooded roads a significant obstacle during one of the busiest travel periods in the U.S. during the year. Farmers in southern Egypt are embracing biogas technology to convert livestock manure into cooking fuel and organic fertilizers. This reduces the dependency on the costly butane cylinders and chemical fertilizers. This sustainable initiative has installed over 1,000 biogas units nationwide, including 100 in a single village. In business and tech news, the thin holiday trading impacted oil prices. Prices edged higher owing to hopes for additional fiscal stimulus in China, which is the world's biggest oil importer. An anticipated fall in America's crude inventories also pushed the prices. Thin holiday trading also soared gold prices globally. The price rise was also driven by the geopolitical uncertainties, which in turn boosted demand for the safe haven metal. The US gold futures gained 0.3%, rising to over $2,643 per ounce. Shares in Asian markets witnessed a rise as Christmas festivities thinned trading. This extended the market gains being carried forward from earlier this week. Meanwhile, the dollar edged near a 2-year high. According to Russia's finance minister, Russian companies have started using Bitcoin and other digital currencies for international payments. This comes after Russia made legislative changes to counter sanctions imposed by the West. According to a report, in India, Chinese electronics and automobiles are relying on their cash reserves and loans to fund their expansions. This comes as government approvals for equity funding from Chinese parent firms face delays. This comes amid stringent scrutiny on Chinese firms. The Indian rupee slid to an all-time low. The rupee dropped to 85.24 against the US dollar. This follows a rise in US Treasury yields and a fall in most Asian currencies. A massive outage has hit the Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation or IRCTC website and application. Passengers struggled to book tickets on the platforms and many posted complaints on social media. This marks the second major IRCTC outage this month. Earlier, on December 9th, the e-ticketing platform underwent a 1 hour of maintenance. Japan Airlines temporarily suspended ticket sales for all flights. This was after a cyber attack caused major system malfunctions. The airline identified the source of the disruption as a compromised router. Apple has requested to join Google's antitrust trial against the US government. It aims to protect their $20 billion annual search engine partnership. Apple uses Google as its default search engine. The iPhone maker says that removing it would harm customers, as it has no plans to develop its own search engine. The trial could lead to the termination of the Apple-Google deal. Billionaire Elon Musk's company, xAI, has raised $6 billion in a funding round. Only investors who backed the company in its previous funding round were allowed to participate. The AI firm has raised $12 billion so far. The funds will be used to accelerate advanced infrastructure and ship products. A public filing revealed that xAI is now valued at $45 billion, close to double its previous valuation. Moving to sports, we'll start with cricket. The fourth Border-Gavaskar test between India and Australia has kicked off. Australia opted to bat first and finished at 311 runs for 6 at the end of the day's play. Jasprit Bumrah dismissed Usman Khawaja for 57 runs. India's Ravindra Jadeja bowled out Australian debutant Sam Constas, who scored 60 runs off 65 balls. Virat Kohli is under the scanner after a heated encounter on the Boxing Day test. He shouldered Australian teen Sam Constas deliberately on the pitch while the two crossed paths during a break between overs. Constas then confronted Kohli, which led to a brief argument. Kohli has been fined 20% of his match fee for this action. Indian pacer Jasprit Bumrah has equalled the record of the highest test bowling ratings ever by an Indian before the Boxing Day test. Bumrah joined Ashwin's all-time high of 904 rating points. This was after Bumrah's impressive performance against Australia. Bumrah has picked 24 wickets in the Border-Gavaskar Trophy. Sam Constas's Wikipedia page was briefly edited with bizarre comments. The incident came after his standout performance against India during the Boxing Day test. Wikipedia editors quickly rectified the changes, but screenshots of the edits went viral on social media, triggering a meme fest. In football, Manchester City's manager Pep Guardiola has said that his club might not qualify for next season's Champions League. City is currently floundering in 7th place in the Premier League after 17 matches. A club's performance in the Premier League is one of the ways it can seal a Champions League spot. Indian Olympic bronze medalist Manu Bhakar's name could possibly be added to the final nominations list for the Khel Ratna. This is after her initial absence sparked controversy, with her father expressing disappointment. The Indian Sports Ministry has said that the list is not finalized yet and it's still under review. In basketball, LeBron James's LA Lakers pipped Steph Curry's Golden State Warriors 115-113 on the Christmas Day NBA match. Curry's 38 points went in vain as James's 31-point performance was enough to take the Lakers to 6th in the Western Conference points table. Rugby India is set to start the Rugby Premier League next year. The league will be a franchise-based competition. It will feature 6 city-based teams. Rugby India has described this as a game changer. The FIDE World Rapid and Blitz Chess Championship begins today. The tournament is taking place in New York. It has 2 distinct events named Rapid and the Blitz. Magnus Carlsen is the defending champion. Notable Indians in the fray are Arjun Erigesi and R. Pragnananda. There are 13 rounds in the open category and 11 rounds in the women's category. In the NFL, Travis Kelce celebrated Christmas Day by shattering a new career record. He achieved the most receiving touchdowns in the Kansas City Chiefs' history. It was Kelce's 77th touchdown reception. This milestone came as Kelce's club defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers 29-10. In entertainment news, Beyonce stunned her hometown Houston audience with a grand Christmas Day NFL halftime performance. It featured Post Malone, Shabuzi, and her daughter Blue Ivy Carter. The show marked her first live televised performance in 4 years, introducing tracks from her latest album, Cowboy Carter. Meanwhile, after Beyonce's NFL halftime performance, she hinted at a January 14, 2025 release via a cryptic social media message. It featured her on horseback. Fans speculate that it could be the 3rd part of her trilogy of albums. Mariah Carey opened Netflix's inaugural NFL Christmas Game Day with her classic All I Want for Christmas Is You. This happened ahead of 2 live games. The Kansas City Chiefs secured the AFC's top seed with a win over the Steelers. Jennifer Lopez's Beverly Hills mansion is listed at $68 million, and it remains unsold despite renovations. This is reportedly tied to memories of her former husband Ben Affleck. Lopez is eager to move on and begin afresh. Jennifer Lopez filed for divorce from Ben Affleck on August 20th, 2024. Actress Blake Lively has garnered widespread support following her allegations of sexual harassment against Justin Baldoni. A retaliatory smear campaign by him was also alleged. Amber Heard, who faced a similar media onslaught during her legal battle with Johnny Depp, voiced her support for Lively. Additionally, Lively's Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants co-stars, America Ferrera, Amber Tamblyn, and Alexis Bledel, released a joint statement defending her. Adam Sandler is back in Happy Gilmore 2 as Netflix unveiled the teaser on Christmas. Releasing in 2025, the sequel brings back Julie Bowen and Christopher McDonald, while adding stars like Bad Bunny and Travis Kelce to the lineup. It's the long-awaited sequel to the wacky 1996 golf comedy. The makers of Doctor Who Season 2 released its teaser. The video introduces Varada Sethu as Belinda Chandra, alongside Nakuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson. The season promises an epic quest, apocalyptic threats, and an expanded Whoniverse in 2024. It'll premiere next year. Netflix revealed the trailer for The Night Agent Season 2. The video shows the character of Peter Sutherland hunting a CIA mole. It is threatening the city of Manhattan. The series premieres on January 23, 2025. The first season of The Night Agent was released on Netflix in 2023. Derek Ho, American dancer and choreographer, spent Christmas Day with his cat in the most unexpected way. The Dancing with the Stars judge revealed on Instagram that he spent $8,000 on emergency surgery for his cat, Otis. This happened after the cat ingested harmful items. Ho said that his cat is now recovering. Lauren Graham and Yannick Truesdale shared a holiday selfie, delighting Gilmore Girls fans nearly 25 years after their iconic series began. Truesdale expressed joy in reconnecting during the festive season. He stated, and I quote, "We don't get to see each other often, but when we do, it's always a treat." That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching and stay tuned to First Post.